Vallabha Girivaradar Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari 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 Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaigunya kita kalita paishunya vrana pidita dainarnave nimagnoham chaitanya vaidyam asraye. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 5.1. I am bitten by the innumerable germs and microbes of my bad qualities, and my whole body is itching from envy and criticism. Therefore, I immerse myself in the ocean of humility and take shelter of Dr. Chaitanya. Yasya prasadadagipi sadhya sarvagyatam vrajatsa Shri Chaitanya devame Bhagavan samprasidatu. May Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be merciful unto me. By His grace, a complete fool can get all knowledge in one moment. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Happy to be at the lotus feet of Prahlad Nrsimha again.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. this beautiful Nrisimha Kshetra, Simhachalam, the immovable mountain of the divine man lion. By the way, this driver yesterday knew that, oh yeah, there are some Krishna people. I know there are some Krishna. Didn't ask anything about where to go. Oh, Silberg 20? Okay, clear. So, we are here to get the mercy shower from Sri Isopanisad. Sri Isopanisad is a beautiful book. Who has read Isopanisad? Who has held Isopanisad in your hands already? So Isopanisad. In the 10th canto we hear that ja, braucht jemand? Eine deutsche Übersetzung? Alle verstehen genug Englisch. So, this is one of the most popular books. So actually, the first book of Srila Prabhupada I read and had in my hands. And it's just 18 mantras plus the invocation and 18 mantras. So very short, very condensed, very powerful. It is part of the Bhakti Sastri course. So to get a Bhakti Sastri diploma, Srila Prabhupada says that Isopanisad is one of the books because it gives the basis. So being an Upanishad, it's from the Shruti, Prastan. So there are different parts of Veda. We have a short introduction here by Srila Prabhupada from a lecture at Conway Hall. So Prabhupada explains what is Veda here. So Prabhupada explains different ways of getting knowledge. And there are three main ways of getting knowledge. There is pratyaksha, direct perception. Yeah, what we see with our eyes. Yes. And then there is logic. Yes. And then there is Shabda, Anumana logic, and Shabda is the authoritative information from the transcendental source. So Shabda means sound. So just like some things we can see with our eyes. So with our eyes we can see that there are some people here, yes? Then we don't see anybody behind the wall because our eyes cannot look through the wall. But we hear some children making some sweet noises out there, right? So we can logically conclude that, okay, there must be also some, I can't see them, but there must be some children playing out in the grass, in the lawn or somewhere. So we use logic to understand, right? But then to understand spirit, to understand transcendental truths, we need transcendental sound. We need transcendental sound, the Veda. Something that is coming from the transcendental world. So that's an important and large topic about the three ways of getting knowledge. So we use all three. But to get to know something that's transcendental, means beyond our senses, beyond even our logic, we need a helping hand from the other side. We need Krishna coming from the other side and saying, I will tell you how. Just like we can use, Prabhupada gives an example, the schedule for radio programs, yes, which is published by the authorized sources. So they will publish the program and we will know, aha, that's how. So also, Srila Prabhupada says that he compares Veda to this. So, Isopanisad is part of the Shruti. So there are different kinds of kinds of Vedic literatures. One kind is Smriti, means remembered. So this is like the stories in the Puranas, like stories in the Bhagavatam. And the other is Shruti. It is repeated without any change. So it's called Shruti, or it's something that has been heard. Shruti. So Isopanisad, among our books, is Shruti. So this is part of the Veda that is unchangeable. It's one of the most authorized parts of the most famous, most respected parts of the Vedas. And also it's one of the Upanishads. So there are 108 famous Upanishads mentioned, listed. And then there are 11 Upanishads that are super famous, that have super important commentaries by great teachers. Isopanishad is one of them. What other Upanishads do you know? Do you know any other Upanishads except Isha Upanishad? Bashar Prabhu? Mukunda, yes. Shvetashvatara, Svalgopal. Katha. Chandogya. Actually, yes, so these are, some other? Yeah? Huh? Garga? Garba. Okay. Gita Upanishad, yeah, because Bhagavad Gita is also like the Upanishadic knowledge, yes? Gita Upanishad. What else is, what are, there is Kena, there is Taittiriya, Katha, yes? Who? Yes. Yeah, so 11 are the most famous. Mundaka, Mandukya, among them. What else are? Aitareya, yes. And Aitareya, yes. Shvetashvatara I mentioned. I think, is this well? Okay, Shvetashvatara, Isha, Taittiriya, Aitareya, Mundaka, Chandogya, Katha, Kena, and 2 or 3 more among those most famous, the most important Upanishads. Anyway, these are famous, nice, beautiful Upanishads, and Isopanishad is one of those 11 that are that have very famous commentaries and is very famous. So Upanishads give esoteric knowledge. Upanishads give us esoteric knowledge. There are different parts of the Veda. There are parts with the special prayers, hymns. So these are brahmanas. So they are for the, sometimes it's explained, it's for the people living in the cities, for the people living in the forest, for the people living as sannyasis. So Upanishads give us the philosophy behind everything. The other parts of the Vedas will give us some mantras how to fulfill all of your desires. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Yes. I'm coming to this. So, like if the Samhitas, Brahmanas, and Aranyakas, they explain how to achieve all your purposes in this world, like how to have economic development, peace, and all these things. Upanishads speak about what is happening after one dies, and what is happening after you die and take birth and take birth and die and take birth, means what is happening to the eternal soul. So Upanishads speak about the eternity. So that's why it is very esoteric. They speak about the highest philosophy, who you are in all your lives, not just in one life, but in all your lives. So okay, that's spirit. That oftentimes they speak about the Brahman. They speak about the absolute light, effulgence. But some, like Shvetashvatara, Isopanishad, they very clearly describe the Supreme Person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's very clear. And also Isopanishad is very special because it is not included in the end of the Veda. It's from the Shukla Yajur Veda. There are 4 main Vedas: Yajur, Rig, Sama, and Atharva. So this is from Yajur Veda, and it's from the part called Shukla or Shukla Vajasanei. And so Isopanishad is from this part. And it is very unusual in that it is not only for those who have given up active life, it is also for those who live in the city, who engage in active work in this world. So therefore, it is very practical. Also, Upanishads, we know from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Upanishads very often, I mean, all the Vedic literatures are persons. So Upanishads often are the gopis. So they are very beautiful girls from Vrindavan, or they are called Shrutichari gopis. So these are holy texts, holy scriptures, who want to join Krishna. And so when they come here, they distribute their mercy through these verses, through these texts, to bless all the living entities, to bless all of us through some merciful instruction, through some very merciful mantras, through some very merciful sound vibrations. So Srila Prabhupada explains some of these things in his introduction. So this is introduction. He explains the 4 defects. So tomorrow morning we will repeat it. So please come tomorrow morning also, or tune in to the broadcast. The 3 methods of getting knowledge. 3 methods of getting knowledge. Then 4 defects. Prabhupada will repeat also the 4 defects in the first text of the Isopanisad. What are the? Why do we need this help from outside? Why do we need help from the transcendental source? Because on our own we have 4 defects which make it very difficult to learn about the transcendental world. So also Srila Prabhupada speaks about the different parts. He speaks about Vedanta, he speaks about Srimad Bhagavatam, that Srimad Bhagavatam has all the conclusions and also the illustrations in the stories. So everything is there. Still, Isopanishad is a very beautiful and very elegant, very short text, but it is a very deep text. And sometimes we think this is an introductory text because it's a small book, right? It's a small book. So we think it's simple, right? It says there is spirit, you are soul, serve God. Boss, that's it. Alles klar? Yes, true. But you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. And today I was speaking with Saki Sevaka, and she was saying that that's her favorite book, and there are so many layers, so many levels of this book. And sometimes you read it, and then you again read it, and then you discover more and more and more in this book. I remember at one point I decided to learn all the 18 verses by heart. So I learned it by heart, and by that time I already studied this book like 2 times with the teachers, you know, in the Bhakti Sastri course with Bhanu Swami and somebody else I studied. And so then I was even teaching this book, yes, and in the Bhakti Sastri. And then I learned the verses by heart, and then I was just taking shower and reciting these verses in the shower. It's classic, right? In the shower, what better thing to do than chant some verses? So I was chanting these verses, and then as I chanted started chanting the whole Isopanishad, I could see all of a sudden the structure. It goes like this, and then like this, and then like this. Wow, that's how it goes. So I was shocked. It was almost a revelation. What is the structure of this book? And of course, because this is a living sound, it's not just dead information or dead letters. This is a living sound. Therefore, it can reveal more and more and more. Basically, we are establishing a relationship. As I said, this is a person. We are establishing a relationship. This is a person. So therefore, it's like a conversation. It's like a conversation where this very merciful spiritual personality can give us more and more and more and guide us. Actually, this is a prayer in a simple way. One way to understand Isopanisad, it's a prayer for guidance. On one hand, it's an instruction how to live in this world, how to work in this world in such a way that you progress to the spiritual world. But also it's a prayer for protection. Who has read Srimad Bhagavatam? So in the 8th canto, we read in the beginning the story of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu, this is the first great ruler of the universe who gives different laws of religion and the laws of noble life. And we read some stories about Swayambhuva Manu in the 3rd canto, how he comes and he gives his beautiful princess daughter to the sage Kardama Muni, and we hear some description how he lived in how in his palace as a great king, morning and evening he was singing the holy names of God, and this way his whole life was completely spiritualized. But in the 8th canto we hear how he, the great king, left all the royal palaces, he left all the royal luxuries, and he lived in the forest, like some of you are living in the forest, Bavarian forest. I don't know, maybe it was somehow connected to Bavaria also, who knows where exactly it was. And then he was meditating, he was trying to become more absorbed in his spiritual meditation. He was meditating, and because he was in trance, some of the evil spirits, rakshasas, evil spirits, how do we böse Geister, anyway, so not nice things, right? They decided, oh, he must be asleep. We can attack him and eat him. And so they started attacking him. They started moving upon him. So I think this is where this book is connected to our Nrisimhadev, because usually when we are attacked, we say, Jai Nrisimhadev, Nrisimhadev. Right? We call to Nrisimhadev for protection, because Nrisimhadev likes to protect. This is a story of protection. Yes, he is very, very, our Lord Nrisimhadev is very, very kind, very, very merciful. You can see he has a very nice sword, but his nails are even stronger than the swords. Yes, he can really protect everybody. So Swayambhuva Manu, he started praying to Yagya, who was the incarnation of the Lord at that time. This is our day of Brahma, but in the very beginning. So that's like, what is it? It's like 2 billion years ago. So it's something like 2 billion years ago. It's many, so that's like, what? It's like 500 Mahayugas ago. So really, really long time ago. About 2 billion years ago, more or less. So he started praying, and his prayer was exactly what we see here in Isopanisad. So basically, Isopanisad is his prayer, and this is mentioned. It's given there in Canto 8. There are slight differences. So here we read Ishavasyamidam sarvam. There he says Atmavasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjida magridakasasvidanam. So everything belongs to the Supreme. Everything is ruled by the Supreme. Everything is controlled by the Supreme. So therefore, whatever comes from Him. So take what is given to you by the Lord, and do not try to take something that's not yours. So it sounds like a very common sense, very good advice, right? But this is a God-centric instruction. So this is Krishna conscious life. And then some more there. And then as he started chanting, as he becomes more absorbed in trance, and he offers the Isopanisad, then the Lord comes and protects him. So these Rakshasas, it says that these Rakshasas were super powerful, that they could kill anyone and nobody could kill them. They had some special power. They got some power to kill anybody they want. And at the same time, nobody could kill them. But that's nobody. Nobody that doesn't touch the Supreme. Supreme is beyond nobody. Beyond everybody and beyond nobody. Yes. That's Lord Hari. He's transcendental. So therefore, he can, like Nrisimhadev, he stepped outside all the logic. Hiranyakashipu, the great demon, he wanted to get some boon that will use logic, our mundane logic, to protect the demon. That he will not be killed in the day or in the night, inside the building or outside the building, on earth or on water or in the sky, by living or dead, by the living or by the dead. So he tried to take every paradox, every contradiction, every pair, to exclude everything. And then, when the time comes, then the Lord says, okay, these 300 conditions, easy. And he comes as Nrisimhadev. Yeah? Not a man, not an animal. Okay, I'll come like a Nrisimha, like a man-lion. Man? No. Animal? No. So, fulfilled? Fulfilled. All done, yes. Kill not by the living, nor by the dead. Okay, let me kill him by the nails. Are they alive? No, you can cut them. Are they dead? No, they grow. Not alive, not dead. Easy. Not inside, not outside. He will kill him on the portico, on the veranda. Not in the daytime, not in the nighttime, on the juncture. So every condition is fulfilled. And he comes as Nrisimhadev and just rips him apart. And all conditions fulfilled, and the demon is killed. So in the same way, these Rakshasas were killed by Yagya, Lord Yagya, in response to the prayers of Manu, Swayambhu Manu. And we can also get these very special blessings. Very special blessings, not to be swallowed by the forces of material illusion. It begins with the invocation, very beautiful invocation about Purnam. So perhaps I will. It's a verse that is very good to know. It's the verse we conclude the yagyas. On Saturday we have yagyas here, and so then we have Purnahuti, the concluding offering, the final offering, and then in this Purnahuti, the final offering of Huti means we pour, we do the offering, and Purna means complete. Purna in some languages we have, so if you know Slavic languages, we have this polny, povny, it's popon, so it's the same word. In Latin we have plena, like plenary portion we have in our books. Yeah, so also that's connected to the Sanskrit word. In German we have voll. So we just have the first and last letter of this word. So Purna means full, complete, total. And this is a very beautiful verse to know by heart. And this is one of the verses we need to know for the exam. So everybody is invited heartily to the exam on Isopanisad. It will be short and sweet. And then you will have... So this is one of the verses we want to know. It's easy to learn. This verse is one of the easiest to learn because it has only one word. Yes. The whole verse is composed of one word. Purnam. complete. It has a complicated translation, but it has a simple translation also. The complicated translation, you can read. Let's read the complicated translation. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, Purnam. And because He is completely perfect, Purnam, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are also perfectly, Purnam, perfectly equipped as complete wholes, Purnam. Whatever is produced of the complete whole, Purnam, is also complete, Purnam, in itself. Yes? Because He is the complete whole, Purnam, even though so many complete units, Purnam, emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance, Purnam. Yeah? So perfect. Basically, He is perfect and this is perfect. And so many perfect things, complete, full, perfect things come from the perfect Him, and He stays perfect and everything is perfect. Easy, right? He is perfect, this is perfect. And perfect things come from the perfect, and he's still perfect. No problem. So let's chant this introduction. So yeah, so the simple is let's read the Sanskrit, because Purnam. So we have Purnam full, Ada is that, Idam this. So that is Purnam, perfect, and this is Purnam, perfect. And from the perfect come perfect, and he still is perfect. Perfect. That's the idea. If you read that's why Srila Prabhupada gives this word for word, so we can see. He gives everything. Sometimes some people think that Prabhupada is interpreting, paraphrasing, but you can see Prabhupada is very open. He gives you the original Sanskrit. Yes. Then he gives you difficult to read this. And then he gives you word for word, synonyms. And then he gives you this translation. Then he gives you the commentaries. He gives you everything. So you can see it backwards, sideways, forwards, from, Gopi Parandana Prabhu, who was translating Prabhupada's books, who finished the Bhagavatam after Srila Prabhupada left. So he gave a course in our VHE Vrindavan Institute, gave a course called Bhagavatam Underview. There is Bhagavatam Overview. Yeah? Bhagavatam Overview. Übersicht, yeah. And he said he will give the underview. It's like, it's like you can see the car from, in the salon, in the car, in the showroom. It's shining like this. And then if you want to know how it runs, then they will open the hood and say, see, this is 8 cylinders, and they are V-shaped, and they are so much power is there. This is underview, to see from underneath. So he would explain all the Sanskrit from underneath, how it's all constructed in Srila Prabhupada's book. So everything is open, everything is given. So let us chant each line, all of us together, 3 times each line. Okay? So all of us. And then maybe a second or third time you can try chanting without even maybe looking, try to remember. So all of us simultaneously together. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Purnameva Vasishyate Purnameva Vasishyate. And maybe one more time the full verse altogether. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Santi Santi Santi. That's a very classic end of all the auspicious invocations. You know the meaning of Shanti? Peace, yeah, it's very famous meaning, peace. Also means, Shanti means also blessings. Sham means everything good. So, I mean, may there be blessings in all the three words. May there be peace in the mind, spirit, and physical world. So there are different ways to explain this, to give blessings. Anybody remembers the simple translation? Anybody would like to try, even if it's short, even if it's half? What's one word in this verse that we want to remember? Complete perfect, yes, complete perfect. Purnam, full, complete, just one word. Okay, I'm sorry, it's making sound. Let me just make it. So then, using this one word, what is the translation? Perfect. So, yes, even though from this perfect things, yes. So that's it. So he is perfect, this is perfect, and from the perfect come perfect, and he is still perfect. Easy. Very perfect. Yeah. So this is a spiritual vision. Usually we see everything imperfect. Yeah, everything is imperfect. And this is, on the contrary, perfect. Vision of how Krishna is perfect and everything is perfect. So there are different ways to apply this verse. So Prabhupada gives a very short and very powerful commentary. It's a short commentary. This invocation means we invoke. We call for the blessings. So we call for the blessings from the Lord, basically. In Sanskrit it's called Shantipat. Shantipat. Pat is like the recitation, chanting, and Shanti, blessings or peace. So the calling of blessings, the calling, invoking peace, invoking blessings. And Upanishads have just maybe 4 or 5 very famous Shantipats, very famous invocations. And several Upanishads can share the same invocation. So this exact invocation, Om Purnam, also is there at the beginning of this is one of the 12. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, one of the famous Upanishads. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's also there, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Exact same Om Purnamada Purnamidam invocation. So here Srila Prabhupada uses this invocation about how the Lord is perfect to establish a very important point, which is especially important for us, that the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Absolute Truth, that the complete truth is a person. So this whole Isopanisad is called Isha because it begins with Ishavasyam, Isha. Isha means the Lord, the controller, the Supreme Lord. Yeah, it's a person. You know, he's a person. When some Upanishads just speak in a more abstract way about some light or the truth or that, Isopanishad is very specific that he's a person. And therefore, Isopanishad can be taken as a very personal Upanishad, speaking about the Lord as the beloved person, very dear person. It's amazing that in this book, one of the very first books, Srila Prabhupada printed this in the Back to Godhead before he came to America. He printed this in the Back to Godhead somewhere in 59 or 1960. And then it was taken from the Back to Godhead and edited a little bit and then made into a separate book also. So In Mantra 8, Prabhupada says in the purport that the goal of life is to join the rasa dance of the Lord. It's very esoteric, right? So not many places where Prabhupada will say this, that the goal of life is to join the amazing dance, the rasa dance of Krishna. As the gopis do, as the followers of the Shrutichari gopis, the Vedic texts do, joining Krishna, joining the Lord, dancing with the Lord. So, dear fellow sparks, dear friends, dear God brothers and God sisters, that's where we belong. We should dance as the sparks dance in the supreme fire, dancing with Krishna in the dance of love, centered around Krishna, with the Supreme Lord Krishna in the center. God-centered society, or God-centered life. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. So, this is a very strong point throughout the Isopanisad, that the Lord is a person. Because very often we take spiritual life as impersonal, without any qualities. Just very abstract something. Mashed potatoes. Mashed potato, like, it's, mashed potato is okay, it's good, right? But sabji is not bad either, right? Or if you can add some paneer to the mashed potato, is even better, right? So, we like variety. Variety is okay, variety is good. So Prabhupada is using his commentaries, especially this first commentary or purport, to establish the Supreme Lord is a person. It's in the Pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada. Nirvishesha shunyavadi paschatya deshatarine. He's coming to liberate the Western modernity, or we can say post-modernity, from the impersonalism, nirvishesha. So what is postmodernism? We have modernism. We have the classic or ancient philosophy speaking about some virtue, about divinities, right? Then we have modernity saying that you should be kind to humans also. Be kind, humanity, right? And then we have postmodernity. Postmodernity, starting maybe 100, 200 years ago, basically establishing that everything is relative. Everything is relative. Maybe everything is one. But the problem is that then there is no criteria what is good and what is bad. There is no criteria what is... And basically, God is often rejected. God is rejected. And if God is rejected, then there is no transcendental purpose. There is no system to judge what is good, what is better, what is even better. So what it comes to is that everything is the same. Whatever you do doesn't matter. And if there is no good and better and best, then there is no way to judge what is up, what is down. And then what happens is that it's, like if there is no up and down, it's like, you feel nauseous, like, everything is the same. That doesn't matter, you go there or you go there, everything is the same. So therefore, postmodernity is very desperate philosophy. You can see all the postmodern art. I like to go to the museums to see art. Like before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we saw it. Then around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the saints start smiling. Risorgimento and this Renaissance and more happier faces already on the religious art. And then we come to the postmodern, and then one of the very famous postmodern paintings is Edvard Munch, the scream, the desperation. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, it's all useless. So that's nirvishesha. This is what Prabhupada is saving us from, basically. He's coming to say, no, there are things that are good. There are things that are eternal. And eternity is not just, like mashed potato, all the same. There are different planets. There's a person. There are different persons, and you also are a person. We are all persons. We are all different. We are individual. We are individual. And differences are significant. I mean, differences are not useless. Yes? So we are individuals. And that's okay. That's nice. We use our individuality, use our talents in Krishna's service. It's so nice that we are different. Let me say, who likes to tidy up and to clean in the inside? Who likes to clean? Nice. Okay, good. Who hates to clean? Okay. See, it's so nice. We are different. It's so nice, right? Because one hates this, but he likes that, and the other hates the opposite and likes the opposite. It's so nice. If we combine together, everything is nice, right? You don't have to do, that everybody does what they hate. You can find that different people like different things, and we can use our strengths together, putting us together in the best possible way. So this is what Prabhupada is coming to establish. That we are individuals, that we are persons, and the Lord is also a person. So, because he says he is complete, right? There are three aspects, Prabhupada says: the impersonal Brahman, Paramatma, and Paramatma and Bhagavan, basically. So there is this impersonal light, just the impersonal spirit, and then Paramatma, the controlling aspect of the Lord, the super soul in every atom and every heart, and then there is Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, who is the source of all the other aspects. So this is Purnat Purnamudachyate. One of the translations, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's translation, is that from the Supreme Lord come many avatars, come many different avatars. Nrisimha Avatara, and Parashurama Avatara, and Mohini Murti Avatara, and Varaha Deva Avatara, and Ramachandra. So all the different avatars are coming for different pastimes and different leelas. So because he's complete, Purnam, therefore he has all three. Not one, he has all three. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. The person, the controller, and the spirit, the light. All three are there. So when we are connected to him, then we also are complete. We are also complete. So Prabhupada says that we are incomplete when we are disconnected. Just like if you have some screw lying on the street, it's more or less useless, right? But if you put this screw where it belongs, in some engine or whatever it belongs to, then it becomes very useful. It becomes complete. It becomes part of the complete. Or the hand, when the hand is connected to the body, it's very useful, right? If it's disconnected from the body, it's gruesome. It's grausam. So sometimes we are like these disconnected, parts. So we have to reattach ourselves to the Supreme and become our best self, our true self, our eternal self. This is what Prabhupada is saying. The completeness of human life can be realized when one engages in the service of the complete whole. All services in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary. No? Are you engaging in the interplanetary services? It's good. We should do some interplanetary services too. Chaitanya Bhagavat says that when you sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then your hands purify the upper planets and your legs purify the lower planets. So I think that's an interplanetary service, right? Yeah, you are doing here interplanetary service. But if it's Yeah, so all these services will remain incomplete until they are dovetailed. Dovetailed means harmonized with the complete whole. When everything is dovetailed with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels also become complete in themselves. Right? So when we are connected to the Lord, then everything is complete. So He is a person, we are persons. If we are incomplete, if there is some incompleteness, imperfection, that's because we are not perfectly connected to the perfect whole. Also, the aspects of the Absolute Truth, Prabhupada says, Satchid Ananda Vigraha. So Sat, eternity, Chid, knowledge, Ananda, bliss, and Vigraha, form. The Lord is Satchid Ananda Vigraha. So because He is complete, He has to have all of them. He has to have eternity, knowledge, bliss, and form. Also, another one more proof Prabhupada is using is that because here we are persons and we have form. So if the source, if Krishna didn't have a form, or it was not a person, He would be less than us, right? We are persons, we have forms. So if He didn't have, means He would be less than us, smaller than us. So how can that be? He must have that also, what we have. So these are some of the ways that Srila Prabhupada is using this verse to establish that He's a person, we are a person, there is eternity, knowledge and bliss in our eternal individual forms. Okay, so how do we remove imperfection? Yeah, connecting perfectly to the Supreme Lord, to the perfect whole. And what is one of the easy ways to connect? Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, Hare Krishna. Okay, so we will continue tomorrow morning with the Ishavasyam text. Please review this text. You can just look at the text. If you can look at the whole Upanishad, there's just 18 mantras. If you can just look at the translations at vedabase.com or somewhere, and just to have a picture of the complete Upanishad, that will be very helpful. You can try to learn this Purnam verse, Purnam mantra. It's a nice, auspicious, powerful blessing. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Very beautiful mantra. The next mantra, so for the Bhakti Sastri exam, these first two mantras are there to learn. Om Purnam, that we just chanted, and Ishavasyam. This is the next. We will read this tomorrow morning. Maybe we can. So the Bhagavatam time, 7:45. Yes, 7:45. Yes. Yes. Just to begin, we can read the first text, which gives the title to the Upanishad. So usually it begins with Om. Om Ishavasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjidha magrida kasya svidanam. So that means everything animated or animate or inanimate. So moving or non-moving. That is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself which are set aside as his quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So that's Ishavasyam, conception of everything is Krishna's, and we use things in his service. So this whole Upanishad is teaching us how to have this Ishavasyam consciousness that everything is owned and controlled by the Lord, and we are engaging ourselves in his service, trying to connect everything to serving him. Even ourselves, we try to connect, see as Krishna's servants in his service. Okay. So maybe as the last short exercise we can do, maybe you can write down 1 or 2 imperfections or 3 imperfections in your life. What imperfections do we have in our life? If you have any imperfections in your life, I don't know. If you don't have imperfections, you can write theoretical. What imperfections theoretically could a soul in this world experience? Maybe. As much as just a few main ones, the most imperfect imperfections. Okay, so you have some? Do you have some of your personal imperfections? Have you? So, just to conclude, can I ask you to maybe pick one that you can share with a neighbor? Some imperfection. And in the spirit of getting blessings, and maybe you can think how connecting to Krishna can fill out this imperfection. Is it possible to overcome imperfections through Krishna consciousness? How Krishna consciousness, how Krishna's blessings, how devotee association can help us get over the imperfections that we may experience. Is it clear? So can we turn to a neighbor and maybe share how, just pick one imperfection, some imperfection, and maybe discuss how is it possible to. Okay, let's gradually wrap it up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, so have you all been able to find some way how connecting to the complete Krishna, to the perfect Lord, we can also regain some of, overcome some of our imperfections? Of course, it sounds very beautiful, not so easy to sometimes achieve everything. You know this joke about that theory is when everything is clear, but nothing works, right? Practice is when everything works, but not everything is clear. But we aim to combine theory and practice. So sometimes in our life, not only nothing is clear, but also nothing works. Or vice versa, right? So with the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, with the blessings of devotees, and with some humble attempt to serve Krishna, we can move forward. So as we go around our days, we can try to meditate on how everything is Krishna's, everything is coming from Krishna, and how everything is perfect. Even if everything is imperfect, it's perfectly imperfect. Yeah, it's given to us as some perfect lesson, or some perfect training, or some perfect purification. And by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are offered a very sublime and very beautiful method of chanting, reconnecting with Krishna through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow morning, and then later again also. Please read the Isopanisad, and let's get all the blessings that Srila Prabhupada is coming to give. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Upanishad hat, who doesn't have Upanishad, and gets in his table.